That's when we came storming into this bitch.
You
Was this the ship we came on?
It was
you did.
beyond dusk. It was
They
getting
got me off
really
you
dark.
later.
And I had this huge object floated right there. And I couldn't see the end of it from the right or from the left.
And do you talk about it with the car in front of you afterwards, or you know what I
I
mean?
didn't see windows. I didn't see any, and most of all, there was no noise.
I don't know, but
There
I
was
still
no
think about the
motor,
car that
there
was in front of me.
nothing. It just was there. And these lights were coming in.
That was
and
pulled over too.
And I just looked at it.
What about
And
now?
within a period
I still
of
think about the
seconds,
only other car in front
Right.
that I saw pulled
Right.
over looking
this
too.
way, lifted
Right.
up again and
Right.
went
Oh, I was looking and I saw them looking.
Right.
But I'm not crazy.
Right.
It's that strange for me to stop and pull over and look.
Right.
And then I look and see somebody up about almost a quarter of a mile. I think you
Davey
said,
was, brought home from the hospital.
which one?
No, you need to stop spoiling your dinner like
Oh, okay,
I'm
sorry.
finna
He
do.
ran out. It scared the living heck out of us.
And I was running full speed. And I remember just feeling like I was flying at this point.
And he was like running right here in place. Just constantly for about 5 minutes, he was running in place.
I was running, but I wasn't moving. I just got a feeling that something was wrong. And I didn't know what it was, but it just gave me chills. Off to my left, there was a rock. And there was a path, and we were right on the path here, and the rock was just off to my left.
I feel him
And as I
remembering
turned
that shit.
Slowly, I turned, and a UFO dropped right out of the sky right in front of me. And a beam came on me. And as the light was on me, my hands jerked back like this. And it's like air got sucked out of me.
Towards his
Oh, they
left.
saw the light?
And the next thing I know, he disappeared.
And in a blink, in a flash, I was gone.
Where did Tommy go?
You know how long he was gone?
I
We
didn't see
went to
that.
the Dairy Queen.
The Dairy
ice
Queen.
cream, and then we went
That's the Dairy Queen. That's the Dairy
farther
Queen.
back into the parking lot. And he looked up and he said, "Holy shit."
Yeah, that's what her dad said.
And my mother was like, "Oh, Joey." And all of us kids are like, what is that? And start screaming. He's like, "Oh, we gotta chase this." And I'm like, no, please don't. And my mother's like,
It's
"Oh,
in
it's
their
just
DNA,
a
honey.
shooting star. It's just," and I'm like, "It's not just a shooting star. Dad, please don't chase it. Please
the
don't
first
chase
thing
it."
that
And he
came in his
starts
mind.
chasing it.
Right.
My sister and I, we were like shaking. She said she
That's why
doesn't
aliens going to
remember
hillbillies.
anything after
They
that.
know they're going to be down.
But I remember levitating, and then I remember being on a ship. I don't remember seeing him, but he said he remembers seeing my eyes. And
Wow.
I was really scared.
The look of, oh my God, here.
I was in a room with just young people. They were like children. And then they would just disappear one by one by one by one.
They start trafficking
And
y'all
then I
early.
woke up, and I was at the lake by myself. And then I had to walk home.
They want you.
The next thing I know,
Or they put something in you.
I'm being laid down at the other end of the property over here. And you can describe it as if you laid down a baby onto the ground.
I wonder if that's government shit or if it's
It
alien.
was gone.
Because it could be either.
By the time they
Right.
picked him up or whatever they did
Yeah.
and put him over here, it was 7 minutes.
Because
There you go, 7 minutes.
by the time they what?
Picked them up and put them
I
over.
did not know Tom Warner. I was older than him. We ran with different crowds. When I met Tom for the first time, I felt an immediate connection to him. It was weird. It was very
Y'all
weird.
implants. y'all,
And
y'all,
now I feel like he's a brother to me.
because he is.
I get to say.
Implant.
The saddle came loose, and I was holding on for dear life, and a few people came in to slow down the horse and stop it.
And I had to run out and grab him.
And at that point, she felt so
Laughing at her son.
thankful that I didn't get trampled or something. She could, you know what, let's
I
go
knew
to
I
dinner.
should have been out there. That clumsy
Let's
ox.
go to the diner.
He never could ride.
He never
It
could.
was 9 o'clock.
Call
It was
us a
almost
bid and
bedtime.
parade.
And so they decided to take the bridge, the shortcut home through the Sheffield Bridge.
Oh, them bridge shortcuts get you every time. Them bridge shortcuts. Don't take them.
Just,
And my
yeah,
mother
shit.
heard that, and she told
She probably was like, I ain't gonna choke. She I could be wrong about it, but that's what
She
said.
probably like, give it to
That
him.
old
Let's see.
school,
Let's
right.
see what he
do.
Let's see
Let's
what
see how
he
he handle
do.
it.
Let's see how he handle it. What he can tackle it. If he can
Now, when
tackle
we
it.
started through the covered bridge, and as we exited the bridge, there was a light ball hovering, maybe about 2 stories high.
Was they on foot?
We were amazed.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
were
we'd never
fun.
seen anything like it. It was glowing.
My brother saw this orange orb, and it seemed to have this roll to it, almost like something like an ocean wave is the way he describes it. Kind of like the inside of this thing was moving and turning.
The jack.
As we're rolling along, the atmosphere got really close. Everything was dead quiet.
We felt like we were underwater. We could feel like a pressure change. So my mother, she pulled off to the side of the road.
They weren't
Windows
cool.
were open. It was like 90 degrees that night.
She
would
in good
say that
shape.
It had to be
Sidebar.
at least. I could see the radio. I remember this like it was yesterday. I could see my mother. Everything in the car was just like it was daylight.
I mean, usually you hear some summer noises, and everything was deadly still and silent.
No crickets.
Then all of a sudden, the chirping started.
The crickets?
Loudly. It erupted. Crickets, everything. And that's the last I remember. That was it.
This eruption of crickets and katydids and frogs and this, whatever it was seemed to affect the entire area, the wildlife. And then that's the last thing I remember being in the car. My fragmented memory of it, I can account for maybe 15
Where did
minutes.
you come to?
But it was over a 3-hour period.
Wow. What about your mom and
I
grandma?
have no memory of the lost time. I have none. And I wish I did, in a way. Maybe it's just as well I don't.
Yeah.
The next thing I remember is coming to in the front of the drugstore.
Where your kids come to it?
My mother was in the driver's seat, and I was in the passenger seat, which was not the way it was when I turned the car off, obviously, because I had been driving.
When we were placed back in the vehicle, I believe it was meant for us not to ever think that this happened.
It's government.
You know, that
It's
we
not
just
alien.
all passed out, we all fell asleep, because
That's
everything
government.
was supposed to be exactly the way it was 3 hours earlier.
'Cause the
But
alien
the
would've put it
mistake
back
was
exactly
my
like it
mother
was.
and grandmother were reversed.
That was government.
My thinking is that we were
Dumbass.
at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yes.
3 hours of time
Yes.
went by. Whatever happened to us, I don't know. Was
Yeah.
there something extracted? Was something exchanged?
Yeah.
Were we drugged up? I don't really know.
Yeah, that wasn't alien. That was government shit.
Station.
I forgot her
And I
story.
went in,
When
and
did she
Tom
see?
J, who was the
What was her story? Like how she saw the.
I think was driving with her friend and they saw the thing.
Mm-hmm.
They got out and looked, and then it went like this, and then it went like this, and then it took away.
Okay.
I think that was her story.
Okay. Right. Her and her girlfriend, because I call her
started to
lesbian.
laugh, and he said, "You and Mary must be out drinking again." He said, "I think it must have been swamp gas."
She said she got a hug.
But this was no swamp gas, Tom, and I explained it. A few hours later, he was inundated with calls from other people.
Your hometown station in the Berkshires, 860 AM, 94.1 FM, WSBS, streaming online.
They doing whatever they put out that. You remember that Twilight Zone episode where the aliens came in and fucked all the ladies, got them pregnant? Did nobody know what happened to the hotel for an hour?
That took place in September of 1969 was a UFO sighting. I think it's unlikely that if you have all these people in this area, different states, different part of the county that are seeing it, I can't imagine they're making it.
Yeah,
up
they was
online
children of the
about it.
corn.
Gee, it was
I
much
just call them that,
different
but
than
they
today.
was. They had white. I feel like that's what it was based off
And when you're
of.
done
They know
with
they
that
would.
newscast, you don't really think about saving it.
No, because everybody
The
was
next
knocked
day
out
or
asleep.
2
I
days
know, but
after
they had
that
no
news
clue.
story is gone and erased with the current news story.
They knew something happened to the whole town. They was
still
like,
access
that was
to those
watching?
tapes in
What was it again?
1969,
I thought it was
just
Twilight
for the
Zone, but it
radio
might have been
station and for
Children
us
of the
having
Corn.
it, but just wish I could provide people with it.
The
and
old
say,
school.
sought
Or
after
Alfred
item,
Hitchcock.
and
One, I think it was
it's
Twilight
unfortunate
Zone.
we don't. A UFO sighting. I think it's unlikely that if you have all these people
born in
in this
83.
area, different states, different part of the county that are
can
seeing
tell by
it,
his
I
cheesy
can't
ass
imagine
grin.
they're making it up or lying about it. I wish I still had access to those tapes in 1969, not just for the radio station and for us having it, but just wish I could provide people with it and say,
This
just
happened.
to have a tangible object for people, because I know it's such a sought after item, and it's unfortunate we don't have it, but I really wish we
I
did.
bet you do. Gotta keep living and growing with technology.
Daily public records of any police activity, and they're open to the public.
Ooh,
and
he the
one
devil.
forever.
One of them.
And fortunately, we
He
do have
is
one
the
from
devil.
1969.
Look.
I did find that day there's very little activity on there.
Yeah, they
especially
ain't
one
on it.
page.
That's government shit. What police chief?
Wait.
What police chief reacting like that?
He's saying it's like this bullshit. They only got one page.
Yeah, and he old enough to have been around back
Unfortunately, we
then.
don't have
He
it,
got
but
a whole ass plastic surgery job. Blind ass cops, boy. It's government shit.
Maybe I heard it wrong.
They ain't no alien.
There's a young lady from the day shift turned up and was found, which is good. There's a report from a
Government.
gentleman reporting the trash and beer cans thrown on his lawn. He's upset about that. Reported it to the police department. and actually, that was it.
They are
He
trash.
don't wear a mask. I can
Thought
tell
maybe
you that.
there'd be
Oh no, he don't wear no
things on
motherfucking
there.
man.
And was very surprised
That's how
that
I'm
there isn't.
differentiating
Yeah, I think the jury's out.
They gave him a whole
Because
plastic
it's kind of
surgery. He
like
probably
this,
got shot in the
the jury's
face.
out.
That's probably what all
At
that
least
shit
in my mind
is.
it is, in terms of exactly what it was and what happened.
So you mean to tell me you got that notebook
Well, when we
ledger from
started hearing
1969?
about these
Who-
abductions
why did you
that
get
took
shot in the
place
face?
years ago,
That's what I
we
know.
made our archive after
They said
the-
they're gonna shoot in the face again if you say anything.
If I say anything,
We started with the Berkshire Eagle, which is the.
he looks so
daily
unbothered.
paper.
Like I'm not even
See if I can
finna.
find any
Yeah,
reference to
as you can see
September
from this
2nd is
typewriter
the day we
shit,
started
is
Facebook,
Unless
the day after
Lil
the
went on.
initial-
They got totally overwhelmed and
Couldn't keep up and said, "Fuck it, let's
and there
erase
were no
all.
parts of that.
We're gonna erase
There were
all
no
that
parts
from the
of that.
records."
It did not happen.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Like the rewriting of history, in general.
Yeah.
And why is it embarrassing for them not to know what the fuck? Like, I think at the end of the day, they're also embarrassed because we had a situation that we couldn't handle on deck.
Well, that and
You
it
didn't know.
creates if it creates
Chaos.
and
Yeah. And then they'll be responsible for the chaos
Right.
as a result of people reacting to what
About
they
the
didn't
stock
know.
Market,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I get it, but but fuck.
can't get no toilet paper no more. Fuck the mask, we all dying. So
Yeah, right.
yeah, I mean like just all kind of stuff. But we built that up ourselves because if we had transparency from the get go, we would be used to it. But it's just they gotta keep hiding more and more and more and more and more shit. It's like when you tell a lie, you gotta tell
I
another
was
lie.
gonna say
to
we
cover
learned that
lie.
about
Yeah.
lies. So what makes them think that
Now they people are immune to lies apparently with this
Yeah.
fucking joker.
you just say keep saying it?
Yeah, just keep saying it.
Keep saying it.
The former editor of a weekly paper in Great
Is he
Barrington.
editor
The
in chief?
Kinda
look,
laughed.
the
He says,
government
"Yeah,
went to
I remember
the
that. I
boonies
thought it was a bunch of
to get a
hooey,
bunch
so
of
they
test
didn't put
subjects
anything
because y'all don't be knowing no better.
He said he thought it was a bunch of hooey, so he didn't put anything in the paper. But you got to consider the climate in 1969, which we really can't. But we know they didn't have technology. Like, that way.
And outside of our civil unrest, they had their own issues in the white community. Government trying to hide shit.
Yeah, because there's a lot of anti-government white people.
Good,
Still hate Negroes, but I got
Especially,
nothing to do with it.
especially hate Negroes.
Right after it happened.
So the other guy wasn't from Sheffield, the other police guy. No, Great Barrington Police.
Oh, okay.
Great Barrington was like, nah, ain't shit happening.
Yeah, that ain't our business. Why you asking us?
Right. So Sheffield is like, well, yeah, you know.
It happened over there too, and they police said, it ain't happened over here.
Up off the coast of Canada.
We don't know nothing.
Like about 25 years ago. Got a deer, and they took
Got
that
shot in the
picture
face
of him right
once.
there. Beautiful picture. People
don't know
used to ask me
nothing.
if that was my father. Now people ask me if that's me. I'm getting old and gray, you know.
Yeah, you look like him. So I say he talked over his answer.
And people started coming in reporting it to
Why
my
he
father,
bother to ask?
who was chief of police at the time in Sheffield. I'm like, whoa. They weren't airplanes, they said. They were round and they were silver. My father, he thought it was a bunch of baloney. And me and my
You
friends.
better check with that farmer because he letting them use his land.
Going out too, on our own, just looking around, camping out, sleeping in the car, watching. Never got to see anything.
And we think crop circles are crop circles. That's the landing pad.
Never got to see it myself, but you tell the story and all of a sudden you feel bad that you told the story because
Yeah,
people
looking
come
at
and
you.
look at
Yeah, I
kind of
bet.
strange, you know. And if you keep telling the story, after a while, you're not gonna have any friends.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
scare the hell out of everybody.
Yeah.
You know, especially as a teenager and young adult,
Yeah.
people, they just don't want to hear it. It's too scary.
Yeah.
You know, through high school.
We could handle it though, bro. But
I didn't date girls, no one. You know, it was like I was the black plague or something.
Yeah.
It was nothing that was ever said, but I knew it.
You should have made fun of it.
People don't have the
It's like you
answers
could
for
have found
something. They have
a
to
nerdy
blame it
girl
on
that
something.
was-
Yeah,
It's, you know,
yeah.
your imagination or whatever.
Yeah.
Eventually, I had to paint it. I never intended to show this painting. I never intended to tell my story.
It need to be
I
the
think
cover
it
of your
was-
book.
Choose a rhyme chose.
The rhyme
It was
chose
therapy
me.
doing that painting for me.
The government probably like, I feel bad. You should have got somebody
My
else.
sister always believed
Too late
me,
now.
so I was lucky to have my sister. I had a boyfriend then that I could talk to about it.
Yeah, that was a blessing.
My boyfriend would believe me then. So he knew about it. He's not alive now. He passed away. But they're the only ones that knew about it.
You know, get it off my chest, if you will. It wasn't like I was looking for attention.
Yeah,
so
you
you're
don't
not
talk about that
trying
shit.
to capitalize on anything. I was 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
And we're already outsiders to begin with, so this wasn't obviously going to be received well by my schoolmates.
Y'all
Tom
became the
just
weird
talked about
family.
it quite often.
I
I
can
did
tell.
not talk to a lot of people about it personally. I just didn't because I had a feeling that
Yeah.
it would go badly,
Yeah.
if you will.
You knew the
Thomas
motherfuckers.
was the most vocal of all of us.
And he paid for it emotionally.
It's the only reason we're having this conversation is because he sticks to his guns about things. Truth is truth, and truth will come out every time.
We still had to live here. We still had to face everybody during the day.
Damn, are they Italian?
It just made it tough. She used to get followed home down this road by a pickup truck.
Why?
Because
would
they
take
was
me in
already
the car
Italian in the
as I was driving
neighborhood.
home. One followed me all the way up the driveway one time. I'll never forget that. I couldn't believe that.
And there's one guy jumped up on a table once and exposed himself and said, well, if you want to see something out of this world, Nancy, I'll show you something out of this world. And I mean, it got that foul, you know?
Like it was
I
just
don't think
mocking
many
me.
people realize how much this
People
devastated my mother.
like that kind
It
of
was
shit.
very hard.
They were minorities
To the point
out
where
there.
She had to sell the diner,
And that
sell
happened
the
to
house,
them.
and move.
She had to sell her diner in the
When you
house.
see your children being picked on constantly and made fun of, I closed the door on Sheffield at that point because it broke my heart when we left there.
Yeah.
Literally. It still breaks my heart when I think about it.
You know your people.
My mother wanted to move here
I hope she's a
because
good
this
lady.
was
I think she
her
is.
I think she is too, but I just
You don't know. You never
yeah, I don't
know.
want to give
Turn it
her
into a
credit and
cellar
have a
or
feeling she's
Yeah,
not.
you never
But
know.
I hope she is.
She seemed like she's strong. I know that.
Yeah.
Even the way she described when it happened, she didn't look shook. She just like, shit. All I know is I better not share this with nobody. Not out here.
I realized the frustration of people in the past that
She-
have been saying that they've seen flying
She look cute in that
saucers,
green
they've
blouse.
seen this or seen that. Have
She
seen
got cute for TV, honey. I don't know if I see her foundation. She tried to match.
that have been
without
saying
doing the
that they've
most.
seen flying, just
She
thought
got little
no one's
bun
gonna ever
pics in the
believe
back of her
what you
hair.
mentioned.
She got
And
cute.
I think that's part of the reason I never talked about it, because I didn't think people would believe me.
You probably right.
It was in a Berkshire Eagle yesterday, and this is a military reporting this. Those guys are smart. They know what's going on.
You see, he put his thumb over the
You
date
know, I mean,
conveniently.
they're not going
Did
to
he?
make this up. I mean, come on.
His emotions make him more like a conspiracy
I've
theorist.
seen flying objects
And he didn't.
not
He's seen the.
identified.
Because
It's
he too
almost
well,
like
he
the
invited, yeah.
It sounds like the people that didn't see it are all like that.
Yeah.
The people that seen the shit, like for real,
Yeah, they chill.
They just be
They're
like,
like,
yeah,
well.
you know, I didn't forget it was over here. I was like, just be talking.
You're right.
He's
The
camped
excitable
out.
people
Right,
are.
He camped out, wanted to
Yeah.
see some action.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got to see nothing.
They can't do nothing with them people. They can't do nothing with their minds. You know, they got to have minds they can work with. The vulnerable minds they want. I actually think old girl and her family's minds probably got rejected because they were too intelligent. Her family's too intelligent. The Italian family. Did you see? I hope
people
she's
got kicked back.
Huh?
Them people got kicked back.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Unless everybody got kicked back. But they told them it would be done in a minute.
That was the susceptible minds. That was the bumpkin people.
Yeah.
But then this Italian family, they got them at the bridge, coming out the bridge, and they was like, nah, they too strong-minded, this family right here. But then they had to suffer for it for the rest of their life because they intelligent enough to know they can't even share it because these regular human, they ain't gonna believe this shit. But anyway, like Tom wanted to share, he talked and then, he paid for it socially.
And in the military, they started getting put in psych ward and losing their jobs.
Psych ward and losing their job.
And an object flew right between them at a very high speed.
Yeah, he a
It
theorist
was
for
a
sure.
Berkshire Eagle yesterday. And this is the military reporting this. Those guys are
I don't know
smart.
if that's a
They
page
know what's going
number or...
on.
What you say,
Very
yesterday?
high
His
speed.
thumb is over there deliberately, whatever.
He said yesterday?
Yeah, he said yesterday. So they conveniently got a story about that while they doing this documentary. That ain't even no paper, probably.
That's what I was trying to see.
Look.
Hot Cafe. They got one that opened up. What you talking about?
Oh my God, this bullshit.
Yeah, I mean they won't have the story because they'd be gone.
Government planting these UFO stories
They're not
in the
gonna
middle of the
make this up.
real
I mean,
ones.
come on. Something's going on. Why isn't that coming out? Why?
Just because you highlight some words don't mean that that's in an actual article.
He said, hello, I believe it.
So if somebody wants to doubt it, I don't blame them for doubting
I believe you,
it.
sir.
I really don't blame them
Yeah.
for doubting it.
Yeah. That make me believe even more. Like you said, those people be like, I know what it sounds like, so it's whatever.
Melanie's bravely come forward.
It's real. It's for real.
She said,
People have got to understand
even
that.
if, she's like, even if when I get Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, this.
I ain't gonna
I
forget
ain't
that.
forget, yeah. She said
I
that.
believe all of them,
Yeah,
but
I believe
I
it
do believe it was a
Pass the
government
polygraph
staged
test.
it as a alien
My word is my
situation.
bond. I don't break it for anybody.
So it's just like, you
Guess
remember how I was
someone's
saying
saying,
sci-fi movies ain't just sci-fi. We just think it is because we're just
was there.
human.
I
Because
was
all that
there.
stuff that we fabricated is happening
Yeah,
now.
right.
So
what-
in that vein, then one could say that in Men in Black, when they had that little pole that they could erase your memory for, that thing exists.
Maybe even put something else in it.
Yeah, that thing exists. So to me, when they do sci-fi stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, well that thing exists. They ain't gonna.
Or it's about to.
Yeah. Well, the prototype is made if it ain't already in circulation amongst the military or whatever, whoever's using it. And not even the regular military, in a certain layer that even the military don't know about. Maybe they really do meet with the actual aliens. Remember it was...
There is an intergalactical...
Right! Airport where they all meet
somewhere.
together, yeah.
They be up there for a long ass time.
Chilling. Maybe they having Zoom meetings up there.
We got to get to the rendezvous point.
Yeah.
It's only where we can transmit and talk to them from that point.
Yeah. What we gonna do if somebody drive through? Freeze them and flash them. They call it the freeze fresh. You know how you go freeze fresh? What do you call that? When you freeze something, flash freeze something?
Flash
Frozen. Flash frozen. You flash freeze them hoes.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what happened when everybody was like, it's bright light. So bright you can't see. And it got flash froze. And then they don't remember the next 15, 20 minutes. Show up on the lawn in the park. What? And what alien says you got to go home?
It says telepathic.
Has you run in place. And then when they put you back, say, I'll be done in a minute. What alien says
Telepathic.
I'll be done in a minute?
Telepathic. They might know how to communicate with us because we stupid. They not.
I'll be done in a minute. Pipe down. Pipe down. I ain't finished yet. Hold still. While I'm ramming this rod up your rectum. Ain't no probe.